All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Merkah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Time of Truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom, and Lord willing, this lesson. It's edifying. This lesson is based off, this TikTok clip. So
Good things happen to bad people because belief is actually stronger than karma. Psychology says people that have an unshakable belief in themselves will literally get ahead in life, and this applies to good or bad people. Belief determines behavior, behavior determines outcome. Good things happen to bad people because belief is actually stronger than karma.
All right, but anyway, it's really the first part that he said, good things happen to bad people, and really, we live in a world, as the scriptures say, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right, this world is ran by the wicked. This world is under the vibration of wickedness, man, and wicked people seem to prosper in this world because this is their world, really. But this why when you read the scriptures say what? For we look for a new heaven and new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. And this is why also it may seem like people get away with things in this world, because actually let's get the scriptures, man. Let's get the scriptures. This is the book. Let me get this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11. It says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil, man. And right, because when people do wrong, they're not judged on the spot. All right. They continue in their wrongdoing. Basically, they see nothing happen to them, so they continue on. And these same people prosper in the earth, All right. They prosper in the earth, man. But this is why the scriptures speak about, envy thou not the wicked. Fret not thyself, but be patient and trust in the Lord. Okay. But let me get this too. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, verse 4. It says, say not, I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me? For the Lord is long suffering. He will in no wise let thee go. And right, man. And these people and people like that, what was just described in that video, these are people basically they deceive themselves, man. All right. They deceive themselves. They continue on in their wickedness, and that also builds up pride, and they prosper in this world, man. Let me man, Proverbs 14 and 12, because these are the type of people that deceive themselves, all right, that do wickedness, and since no judgment has happened unto them, they continue on in their wickedness, all right, and not only that, they prosper. Okay, they prosper in this world because they deceive themselves. But this is Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12. It says, there's a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. And a lot of people are going to find this out in these last days, A lot of people are going to find this out in these last days. And another thing is because we're in this is why the prophets, they cried for the Lord to bring judgment and justice, man. Because it seemed as if judgment and justice is slacked in this wicked world. Because these people do wickedness and they just continue on with their life. And they prosper, and they build, they gain riches, they gain these positions, but this is why the scriptures speak about, envying not the wicked, fret not thyself. Don't get, all right. The scriptures, we supposed to have peace in the Lord, man, and especially if people do us wrong, all right, and we expect justice, we expect judgment. Well, in actuality, all right, that's still not supposed to that's not supposed to what's the word, man? Interrupt our peace. All right, because we're supposed to have peace in the Lord alone. All right. But actually, let's go into that. Let's get some of that, man. All right, let's get some of that. This is Psalms chapter 73, verse 3. It says, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked, man. And these wicked people, they deceive themselves. All right? They trust and have pride in themselves, man. As the guy went into how good things happen to bad people because basically their belief in themselves. You know, they don't believe nothing is going to happen to them. They don't care. All right? But the scriptures say, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not as troubled as other men, neither are they plagued like other men, man. But let's get this, though. Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 12. Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, right? Though these people commit transgressions, but their days be prolonged. All right. This is why you got these people be wicked. They be in good health. All right. They have all the money. They not worrying about, it says, though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. That it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall his days be prolonged, which are as a shadow, because he feared not before the Most High, man. But kind, man. All right, but this why, the scriptures speak about not envying the wicked, not being jealous and envious and fretting yourself because of the wicked which prosper in their way. All right, because in actuality, their time is gonna come. And another thing, I realize, in this walk in the truth, is that when people wrong us, man, and we look for judgment and justice, all right, and at that moment, the eyes really aren't even on them, man. The eyes are on you, because the Lord wants to see, are we still going to be faithful? Are we still going to be loyal? Are we still going to trust in him? Or are we going to be carnal and, all right, the eyes don't even be on them anymore. Once you get to that point where you're getting frustrated, you want judgment and you want justice at that point, the eyes it's not even on them. The eyes are on you. All right. Because through hardship and, these certain things that we go through being in this wicked world, the Lord is testing our faithfulness and our loyalty unto him. Because what does that have to do with us being loyal to the Lord and serving the Lord? All right. That these people that don't have nothing to do. All right. With us being loyal to the Lord, man. And in reality, we're supposed to just trust in the Lord. The Lord will deal with them. All right. In his own time. OK. And that's not supposed to disturb our peace. All right. But man, let's get some more. I wanted to get Ecclesiastes. This Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 9. It says, rejoice, O young man, in thy youth, and let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thine heart, and in the sight of thine eyes, man. Once again, there is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death, man. And once again, these people that do bad and that are wicked, all right, but good happened to them. They prosper in this world. These are people that have deceived themselves, man. It says, but know thou that for all these things the Most High will bring thee into judgment. All right. And that's why the scriptures say, Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. This is why we're supposed to return unto the Lord, before the evils come. All right. We're not supposed to just be doing our own thing in the world. And then when the evils come, we supposed to, then you want to turn to the Lord. No, the scriptures say, seek ye the Lord while he may be found, call you upon him while he is near. All right. The scriptures say, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, putting out off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed, man. Roughly paraphrasing, man. Okay. But see, these wicked people that prosper in this world, they think themselves to be secure Because once again, sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully setting them to do evil, man. Roughly paraphrasing, man. They think themselves to be secure. They think themselves to be safe because nothing has happened to them yet. But they don't understand that it's going to happen in the Lord's time, man. And we're not supposed to fret, all right, and be envious and be jealous and be anxious and, be frustrated, especially when it's someone that's done wrong unto us. All right. But instead, we're supposed to trust in the Lord and understand that everything going to happen in the Lord's time, man. So let's get this real quick. This is Psalms chapter 37, verse 1. It says, "Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb," man. "Trust in the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai and do good. So shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. Delight thyself also in the Lord Yahweh, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart," man. And that's really the point. All right, let me close it out. Well, it's the same chapter, but verse 7, it says, "Rest in the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai," man. And see, once again, going into, we're supposed to have peace in the Lord alone, man. Here it is, someone wronged you, and you want justice and judgment, and now you can't have peace. You can't have peace of mind unto something. No, man. All right, we're supposed to have peace in the Lord alone. The Lord will deal with it when he deal with it, man. And that has nothing to do to us being faithful and serving the Lord. All right. And once again, when they get to that point, in actuality, the eyes are not even on them. The eyes are on you to see what you finna do. All right. In that frustration, in that anger, in that hardship, it says, "Rest in the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai and wait patiently for him." All right. "Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man which bringeth wicked devices to pass." All right. But man, "Fret not thyself because of him that prospereth in his way." All right. But the scriptures say to rest in the Lord, man. Trust in the Lord. Be patient. All right. Because the Lord is long suffering. All right. So we're supposed to be long suffering, man. But all things are going to happen in his due time, when in the will of the Lord, But that's really the point of this lesson, man. So going back to the TikTok, he was saying how good things happen to bad people because belief is actually stronger than karma, which it ain't no karma. All right. But we understand that the Lord, vengeance belongeth unto the Lord. All right. And see, these so-called bad people or wicked people, they deceive themselves. All right. Because nothing has happened to them. All right. For the wrongdoing that they've done. And they just continue on in their wickedness, man. And they prosper. All right. But the scriptures tell us not to fret ourselves, not to be envious, not to be jealous, not to be frustrated, but to rest and trust in the Lord. Because the Lord is the judge, man. And the Lord is going to judge in his own time. All right. We can't force the hand of the Lord, man. All right. But that's really the point. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to close it out with infinite praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, time of this truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful.